Let me just read them.
Like it.
Focuses on a school's ability to teach and support positive behavior for, again, all students. Provides a system for schools to design and implement and evaluate. And we design our PBIS. We plan lessons to this. We look at our data. And that came up in the survey, too, that, we are providing lessons. We're looking at where we need to do, and we're keeping records of our behaviors. And I thought this one was the most important. It's school-wide procedure and processes intended for, again, all students, all staff, in all settings. So that's in our hallways, in our classrooms, in our cafeteria, everywhere. Why are you not going? It is not a program or a curriculum. It is, however, a systemic process for problem solving, planning, and evaluation of implementation. Any questions? Any comments? Okay, we're going to do a little activity. So you'll have to move your muffins. Sorry. Move your muffins. And we're going to do a little 4-square activity. You each have a pen in front of you. And we're going to talk about what we think are some benefits of PBIS. And you can pass it around if you want to start. It does not matter to me. I'm going to tell you the rules of this. On your 4-square, I want you to think about your experiences and the knowledge that you have and what you think are some benefits of PBIS. And in each square, we have the benefits for students, staff, our community, and then other, if you have any ideas about that. The trick is you can't write until everybody else has gone. So if we have it in the middle, you can't jump in and share until everybody has had a chance to write something down. So we're going to start in the student box, and you can read it out loud, you can talk, share, you can race. It doesn't matter to me. You want to start or put it in the middle?
Is there one person recording, or we're gonna?
You're all gonna write.
Okay.
So you can. Okay. You can stand up, eat chocolate. Jeremy, remind me, I need you to sign a paper for me.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Like the benefit of
You do not. We're gonna start with the first one. What are some benefits of PBIS for students?
Yes. Expectations are the same.
I'm saying they're like kind of consistent throughout the building. So like when they go to each room, there's not really surprises. Like they know what to expect in each room.
And the same
In a
with the
different
language.
environment. Yeah. Teachers using a common
Could
language.
you add a 5th box for parents?
Community. That's B class under community.
Isn't that part of the problem most of the time?
That with
That
parent
parents don't get
support.
it in?
Well, sometimes
like
you get
that.
that. You don't get the support. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not very PC.
No, that's good. A lot of support.
So it could be for the students, the benefits of it is we could be teaching the parents.
So they could take their skills that they're learning at school home and out into the.
Strategies and did I hear you say incentives,
Jeremy did.
Jeremy?
I think incentives, it's motivating. We're pointing out positives rather than always the negatives.
I think
Also
that's a
for
benefit.
students.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was going to say they learn the behavior. I mean, for those that are lacking, they learn how to do the behaviors, what's appropriate. Some haven't learned those behaviors at home.
But I think that's a benefit too for parents is to see their kids get recognized in a positive way. Because I think
Yes.
sometimes schools only calling if like something's wrong or like for a negative thing. So like if they get recognized for something positive, it's important. I think.
And teachable moments.
I think this could probably go under staff and community, but data. We have a baseline now that we've logged everything in Skyward last year. We now have baseline data that we can compare and try to get better. So
I think staff also has that common language to use. It's something they have that consistency or should have that consistency across rooms, which is a positive.
And supports are in place.
Yeah.
I think there's incentives for staff too. We try to do drawings. If you put in, like we try to do if you're handing out tickets, they go into the jug.
Yeah.
You take over. You're good.
Go
Whoop
ahead.
whoop swords and sonic drinks and
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
1% pay raise. Oh no, that's not.
Also, the staff can learn from it. Activities, kind of self-checks. Because we get burned out at times too. And this is like when to take a break, when to know when to not let them push your buttons. And
I think I think it can also be a relationship building piece for
Mhm.
staff. Like some of the lessons allow for them to build relationships with kids that are in their wild kid hour and stuff.
I feel like you read this before.
I did.
I do. I was like, how I sent this to you.
It allows us to come up with some
I did do
initiatives.
PBIS in the trailer.
So like if it disrespects a common behavior we're seeing, then we can maybe focus on that and try to define it and target it.
Yeah, so the
And
target
address it and
behaviors.
target, yeah.
And also, wasn't when we looked at that, not just the behaviors, but the times of day, the days of the week,
The
the
location.
locations, all of it.
Big five. And again, I think then community can also support those initiatives.
Because we have to inform them.
So site council, PTSA, our Caring for Kids team that meets.
MVP.
Like I can bring that information, the data to them, and then they might have ideas.
Would our MVPs be a part of that? If we,
Could be, yeah.
For depending on the student, we'll get them involved sometimes. Depending on the student.
So excellent ideas, and you can see there are many benefits to that. So that kind of again leads to why are we not doing this more? I made a list up. I borrowed a list actually, and so let's look and see what you have that they don't. We have our academic skills. I'll let you just kind of skim over that. Bullying, drug use. I love the provide a free and appropriate education for all. I think when you get the one or two children in there that are running the classroom, it takes away from the other students, and so we're preparing them to be good citizens.
Could you bring back like capital punishment?
We cannot.
Rulers on the back of the hand.
No, is that something?
Oh, that's not positive.
Is that what you hear? Yeah, we're doing
It's just
positive.
effective. I'm sorry.
We'll give them a ticket.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I had you participate in a survey last week, and I thought what was really interesting is all the things that we are doing here. We have so many great implementations and things already going. So it was really interesting for me to see some of our results. One of the questions was, expected student behaviors are taught directly. And this again goes into our all teaching and our all students getting this. So if you look, we have about 43% that said it's partially in place, about 57 that said it was in place. Anybody want to chime in on what this says to you?
To me, I think it's like you can't. Sometimes it's hard to ensure that all teachers are teaching the lessons. So I think they're like given the materials and stuff, but it's hard to make sure. You know, you touched on earlier, like some kids like I didn't get that lesson in Wild Kid Hour, so it's like most of them are taught it directly, except for the kids that aren't getting those lessons.
Getting the lessons. So let's think about too. We'll go through a couple more, but how can we raise these numbers? What are some ideas so that we know that those behaviors are actually being taught directly? Another question I gave you that lessons were provided are meaningful and meet the needs and expectations of our climate. I thought these results were good, but then it made me wonder if they are meaningful, why are they not being taught, or can they be tweaked? Mindy, do you have any ideas on that for me?
Well, with the lessons being meaningful, I think as we move forward with it, now that we have a data baseline, we're going to be able to look at the more targeted behaviors and times and locations and be able to create lessons
That hit those.
right. And whereas before we didn't have the data, we just heard the gripes kind of thing, or just teachers saying, well, I wish this would happen, or why don't we do this, and now we're going to have the data to back it up.
And maybe you could even bring that in like at team meetings and stuff. Like with everyone being on teams, like that could help hold. Maybe we could come up with creative ways to help hold teams accountable. Like,
So I have a question. I'm sorry to interrupt.
no,
But so you go around. I'm trying to remember back to my school days and sit with teachers when things are being taught. You kind of overlook them, right? As a principal.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't be in every classroom at every point in time.
Correct.
So if we've got 4 teachers in here, right, and you're not very good at this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you are.
no, I know.
An example.
Yeah.
And you're awesome. You're and you're okay.
Untouchable.
You're the wildcat. So, but you know, you take a survey and you say, well, yeah, I'm doing it, but you're really not. So, I guess how can you guys sit there